Oh, we've spoken to everybody. We know it's all done. I told you, we'll make some deals, but for the most part, we're going to send a letter. We're going to say, welcome to the United States. If you'd like to participate in the greatest, most successful country ever. I mean, we're doing better than ever. We have, I don't think, and you're going to see these numbers soon. We've never had numbers like this. We've never had investment like this. We have more than 90. We're going to have much more than 90, but most of those are going to be sent a letter. This is exactly what I said. Now, we've made a deal with United Kingdom. We've made a deal with China. We've made a deal. We're close to making a deal with India. Others we met with, and we don't think we're going to be able to make a deal, so we just send them a letter. If you want to play ball, you have to. This is what you have to pay. I'm saying here it is. Congratulations. Welcome to the United States. I hope you make a lot of money, and you're going to pay us money. They were ripping us. They were charging us tariffs at levels that nobody's ever seen before. We have some countries who are charging 200% tariffs and making it impossible to do business. And what the tariffs are doing is they're driving people in and companies into the United States. That's why we're building all of the work that you see happening in this country right now, and it's at a record level. All the factories, all of the AI institutions that are being built. It's largely because, well, I think it's because of November 5th, the good election, and I think it's because of the tariffs. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.
I have the signed letters that went out to both South Korea and Japan today, and there will be approximately 12 other countries that will receive notifications and letters directly from the President of the United States. And weeks ago, I stood at this podium and I told all of you that the President was going to create tailor-made trade plans for each and every country on this planet. And that's what this administration continues to be focused on.
President Donald Trump on Monday started sending out his letters to foreign countries telling them what tariff rates he plans to charge starting on August 1st. The first two countries to get letters were U.S. allies Japan and South Korea. Trump plans to tariff them at 25% rates. Now, he said in his letters, which also went to Kazakhstan, South Africa, Myanmar, Laos, and Malaysia, that he could increase those rates if countries retaliate, and that those rates could go up or go down depending on how those countries have their relations with the United States. Trump's ostensible reason for doing this is to even up the trade deficit. But all of this drama goes back to his April 2nd Liberation Day, when his high tariff rates caused hysteria in the financial markets, leading to him to set a 90-day negotiating period with baseline 10% tariff rates for most countries. Now that that negotiating period is coming to an end on Wednesday, July 9th, he doesn't have a lot of frameworks or signed deals in place. His only two are with the United Kingdom, which has been signed, and with Vietnam, which has not been signed. That has him deciding to unilaterally set the tariff rates himself. What impact is this going to have? We're going to see how companies manage, whether or not costs get passed on to consumers, whether they get passed on to other businesses, and how much foreign manufacturers can really absorb these prices.
¿Te acuerdas que con el rojo se hace la más?
You say thank you very much, you pick up your ball and you walk to the next hole. A lot of people are stupid. You see fake news, right? Why not? Only ABC, well, few of you would. Look at Sending letters out on Monday having to do with the trade deals. It could be 12, maybe 15. You know, Secretary of Commerce right here. And I guess, Howard, I would say it could be maybe as many as 15 or so. And they'll be going out on Monday, and some will go out on Tuesday and Wednesday, and and we've made deals also. So we're going to have a combination of letters, and some deals have been made.
We are expecting on Wednesday two things. One is perhaps a couple more trade deals. So far, the US has only done one with the UK, one with Vietnam, one with China, potentially one with the EU, one with India, but that's only five, albeit big trading partners, when this tariff actually affects over 150 countries. So the second thing we're expecting is actually there will be 100 letters that will be sent to about 100 countries, which will say that they're going to pay 10% tariffs and they don't need a trade deal. When the Trump administration invited negotiations on Liberation Day, when they announced the tariffs on April the 2nd, it was always going to be a stretch as to how the US could negotiate with over 150 countries. 90 days to negotiate even a simple trade agreement is pretty challenging, and that's just with a few counterparties. So if you think about over 150 countries, I think it wasn't a surprise. We were going to end up with more of a template, which is what we have, which is basically most small countries with not a big trade surplus with the US will just pay the 10% across the board tariffs.
Donc you have these three pallets, these three.
Vérania, oui, et le dernier. Moi je préfère Vérania, ça vous renvoie à la liste des ingrédients, valeur nutritionnelle, tout un tas d'infos obligatoires. Est-ce que beaucoup de monde l'escalate? Parce que eux aussi vont avoir à changer. Là c'est les problématiques actuelles, l'écologie. 22 fois dans la saison. Les produits qui sont pas bio.
So tariffs are a tax, so that means that what American consumers buy will be more expensive. So there's across the board 10% tariff. If companies pass on even some portion of that, that means that costs are likely to go up. So most economists think that inflation will rise in the US. At the same time, the US has passed a massive, tax bill, which is going to cut taxes, mostly for people on higher incomes. So there's always a number of things that's going to come together to affect the American consumer. But I think the immediate impact is probably going to be pricier things you buy abroad and probably not a lot of domestic options to switch to straight away.
I think that, this sort of approach to the tariffs that Trump has taken can be used as a negotiating tactic for a slightly fairer approach, as he sees it, to trading between the United States and other countries. And so to that end, while he might make a big deal about the tariffs and how much revenue they might bring into the federal government, my sense is that he wouldn't actually want to see them implemented because of the costs that would then be passed on to consumers and the drag that have on economic growth across the United States.